Hello to you. It's nice to be able to communicate in this way, isn't it? Even if we don't know exactly how the process works. It's a bit like communicating with those who've passed over into spirit dimensions. Well, as you probably know, I have a YouTube channel, lots of different videos on it, and quite a lot of spiritual ones, spiritual videos of different subjects. And somebody asked me today how they would know if a medium was genuine. Well, I suppose mediumship and the reception of communication is subjective, and it's difficult sometimes because everybody comes on a vibration of love, and if a medium says, well, they're bringing lots of love to you, they're coming through with a lot of love, then that is a given. And the cynical could say that it was just a generalization. But in fact, you know, your loved one is actually coming in on that vibration and would be saying to any medium, this is what they're doing. So you can rest assured, at least at that part, that's number one, genuine. However, we always used to say, you know, you must have an open mind. But it doesn't mean to say that your brain should drop out of it. So listen to what's being said to you. Genuine communication and messages will be very obvious. First of all, the medium should be able to give a description of the communicator, of the loved one who's coming through, should be able to tell you something about their passing. The fact is that from experience I can tell you that the first thing very often that a medium will experience is the passing condition of the person who's communicating. Why? Because it's the very last physical experience that they had, and that will be of a lasting impression. So they will be able to relay that back. So first of all, it's how they passed, their description, in either order. Then they should be able to describe the relationship, because an adept medium, a well-trained medium, a developed medium will actually pick that up and will have worked out ways in which the people in spirit are able to relay their information through to them, and should be able to tell you something about their age, how they present themselves, to tell you of any meetings that they've had over there with your relatives or friends. They should also be able to rustle up and remember some occasions and events in your life, in their lives, that will give you evidence that they are who they say they are. And then they should be able to give you instances of events that are going on in your life, specific, to prove that they've been around and had a look in on you and know what's going on. That, as long as you can accept those instances of information you can say that it will prove that that is genuine. If you are subjected to a mass of woolly, platitudes purporting to come from a loved one, without any of that actual evidential information, it's likely that they are not there. Because unfortunately there are some whose mediumship is not developed, shall we say, sufficiently to be able to give sufficient information to a recipient, and they may indeed be able to perceive that they've got somebody with them, whichever way they do it, but they may not be able to relay further information, and so that would be quite unsatisfactory. I hope that if you are wondering how to know whether somebody is a genuine medium or not, that's given a little help. And as I said, you need to know who is communicating with you, and if you have no idea what the medium is talking about, or who they are talking about, or what it is they're talking about, then I suggest that you just say, perhaps kindly, to that person, I'm sorry, I can't take any of that. I really don't understand any of that, and I'd rather you didn't continue. I have actually I've actually been privy to seeing some of that kind of work, and it's pretty disheartening, and one hopes that not too much of it goes on. I don't think it goes on in the churches, the Spiritualist churches. I don't think that the Spiritualist church platform mediums would be tolerated or booked if they weren't genuine mediums. So I always recommend people to go to churches or Spiritualist centres, and be very careful at public demonstrations. Go and see people that are good, meaning can give you proper information, relay proper information, and even if you yourself in a public demonstration, for instance, don't get a message for yourself, you soon see that whether or not there are acceptable messages being given out. And if it's a private sitting, just apply that criteria that I mentioned before. Make sure that the person who's communicating with you through the medium is somebody who's known by you, in just the same way as if they stepped into the room and you were being introduced to them. And that's the only way that you can ensure that those who are relaying information are relaying information from your loved ones. So I hope that wasn't too depressing. It's very difficult, isn't it? Everybody works in a different way. All mediums work in various ways. And as we know, mediumship is clairvoyance, clear seeing, clairaudience, clear hearing, clairsentience, clear feeling. And there's another aspect, which is called knowing. So it's about finding a medium who can relay all those things. Famous mediums like Doris Stokes, Doris Collins, Ivy Scott, Pi Kipling, lots and lots and lots of people who were practicing throughout the 20th century, now in spirit themselves, were wonderful mediums. Helen Duncan, Jean Duncan, so many wonderful, wonderful mediums. Marjorie Kite, and wonderful, wonderful mediums like Jean Bassett, speakers for spirit too. Because the other thing is that there's another level to mediumship. Well, there are many levels, but you know, there's the kind of mediumship that delivers teachings from highly evolved beings on the other side of life. Wonderful. Maurice Barbanel, who founded the Psychic News newspaper in 1932, is a wonderful medium, and he had wonderful communications from a group, spokesperson called Silver Birch, and many, many books still in publication. And I myself have a group, and when pressed they told me that I could call them Iconoclast, and they gave me communications while I was editor of Psychic News that I published in the newspaper weekly for 2 or 3 years, I think. And I had an anthology made up of them, which is actually available on Amazon. And they're the people over there who pass on great wisdom and teaching to those of us down here. And we know by their kindness and their breadth of knowledge that they certainly exist. And when we look at artistic vision through the ages, we see the angels depicted, we see heavenly bodies, we see wonderful visions that people have had, mediumistic visions, in fact, that artists who are gifted with such talent being able to depict. So if you would like to read more, I do have the Spiritualist handbook, in which there is that 7 principles of mediumship, but there's also a way in which you can open up yourself to the world of spirit in a proper way, and in that way you would certainly know if somebody was genuine or not, because you yourself then would learn how to, if you like, link into that world of spirit, and to know whether somebody was actually giving you the correct information or not. And you'd also know who was with them more easily. You would also know, unfortunately, if there wasn't anybody with them. Oh, that's another story again. It's been nice to talk to you tonight. It is night at the moment. And I hope that you've enjoyed this little chat, that it's answered the question of how to discern a genuine medium. Because the thing is that those in the world of spirit have their own energy. And if you are tuned into that yourself, you would actually feel that warmth. Just the same again as if somebody had walked into the room with you, sat down opposite you perhaps, or next to you. You know, that sort of feeling you get. Well, you get the kind of feeling when they come through from the world of spirit. It's just that they're living on a much finer frequency than we are. I know that lots of people in spirit have complained to me about it. They say it's like walking through mud sometimes, trying to get through to us down here. And the more august and elevated they are, the worse the conditions down here appear to them. They're sort of trudging through this sort of darkness to get to us. It's very slow moving and full of negativity. But we must all do our best to lighten that, mustn't we? And make the frequency of life lighter here. Of course, over there, it's a much finer vibration. But we can feel their vibrations when they come close. You know, when you walk into a room and you feel warm and you think, oh, this is nice. You get that buzz. Or you might walk into a room and feel really cold and think, oh, this isn't very nice. Well, that's really what you have to do if you're at the, you know, sort of basic level of discernment. When you are listening to a message being relayed to you by a medium, if it feels good, if it feels warm, if it feels right, then you can be sure it is right, whatever's being said to you. But if you get that sort of nothingness or even a chill, just put it away from you. And I hope that you might like to look at my YouTube channel videos. It's just Lyn Gibb-de on YouTube, and see lots of stuff on there. Of course, there's other things as well, but there's lots and lots of development and talks about spiritual matters and spiritualism itself and mediums and mediumship. And I'll just say good night to you. And I hope this has been a useful conversation. Hopefully useful. And I hope that the next message you get from a medium is one that brings you comfort and the knowledge that your loved one is continuing their own life and their new spiritual journey, but also are able to relay back to you their love. Bye for now. Bye.